Hi, this is Mark, and I just finished teaching here downtown. Not outside today, but they have an indoor area when it's not suitable for outside, um, given what's happening with the fires. But I decided to come out here to do the reading, and it's the reading from the Golden Present Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda. And it does seem that the air quality isn't so great still. That this is nothing compared to what's happening in the areas where the fire is actually happening. This is October 17th. The topic is, will you make a good babysitter? This is a question and answer. We have been very busy lately, and we haven't been able to meditate or do pujas anymore. Even while at school or while playing, we seem to forget about God. What can we do to bring God back into our lives? Swami Satchidananda says, the easiest way is to know that whatever you do is worship. Anything that you do anywhere, even if you wash dishes to help your mama, it's a puja. Puja doesn't mean only sitting in front of an altar and doing something. It's a type of a ritual in front of an altar. The kitchen is an altar. The house is a temple, and God is in you. When you go to sleep, you are putting God to sleep. When you walk around, you are taking God in a procession. So we have to get into the habit of thinking that way. Whatever you do each day should be done as worship. If you know that, then you won't say, I don't have time to do puja. That doesn't mean that you should never do puja as puja. When you have time, do that kind of puja also. God didn't create us to sit in front of Him and talk about His glories. He sent us to do some work, to serve humanity, to take care of everything and everybody. In a way, we are all God's babysitters. Each being is a child of God. Everything is God's creation. That means your puppy is a child of God. Your pussycat is a child of God. So God has created you as a babysitter for all His children. You say, oh, I want to please you, God. But if you forget about all His children and sit in front of Him and praise Him while the children cry, will you make a good babysitter? A babysitter is hired to take care of the babies. Likewise, we are created to serve everyone. This is a key point of the spiritual practices that I love about Swami Satchidananda and his guru, Swami Shivananda. So much spoke about being in the world to practice. The world is our practice. We don't meditate so we get better at meditating. The idea of it is to meditate so that when you are confronted or in the midst of life experiences, you can come with a little bit of a better equipped way to manage and handle the stress and all the things that bombard the mind. You can start to learn how to distinguish what these things are rather than feel overtaken by them. But he also says, when you have time, do those practices, because those are the things that fortify us. They're like the booster pack to help keep the body and the mind in that theme of the spiritual practices, to remember that touchstone of the practices. But the key here is to recognize that all life is an opportunity for practice. So if you are, as it said here, doing so many things, you feel like you don't have time for your practice or time for God, rather than set the mind to that agitated state, set the mind to this idea that all things that we're doing are practice. All is an opportunity to be able to see, where can I serve? Where can I have a more compassionate practice? Where can I connect the breath and the body with everything I'm doing? Even if I'm sitting at the computer writing a paper, writing an email, can I be sitting there with the breath moving through, helping to create clarity and calm, rather than holding my breath, clenching the body, hunched forward, that's setting a tone for the whole experience and maybe even setting the tone for the email. But what if, we sit back a little bit, sit up tall, feel the shoulders soften and drop down, feel the face relax, and you become aware of the movement of breath in and out through the nose. might the whole experience be different? And then is there a chance we have more luck to take that out into the world? And so much of what, the goal of the teachings here is to be able to be of service in some way, help those in need. And, every day there's more and more opportunities from that. And sometimes we reach a point, whether we like it or not, we are in a position of needing to help one another. And sometimes it is a crisis that seems to call out that part of ourselves. And as that part of ourself is called out, we may realize, wow, that's an important part of being in the world that we might have forgotten about because of how everything works now, the conveniences and technology. Some of the simple things can easily be taken for granted or forgotten about. Yeah, so what are some of the other activities in your day that could be thought of as practice? Eating is a big one. Thinking about where the food came from. Thinking about this food as medicine that you're going to consume and something to help bring healing to the body, which ultimately helps to calm the mind. So if we're complaining about, oh, this is, I'm agitated about this and that, where is the disturbance really coming from? And, sometimes it takes some help, outside help, for someone to help guide us. Because our best thinking got us where we are. And so if we're in that state where things aren't feeling in balance, we're feeling out of balance, yeah, we might need some help. And that's actually a beautiful thing. Then we can call on one another. So, yeah, see if we can make a good babysitter. Rather than giving all the efforts to give God, bigger and more fancy temples and altars and spending all the money to try to create these houses for God that are isolated from our everyday life. Let's spend that energy in our everyday life experiences and help one another as much as we can. Yeah, whatever that means to you. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.